Hi, hello, vanakkam, and welcome back to yet another episode on your favorite Little's Law YouTube channel. So today in this video, no, we are not going to see the functional to performance testing, but I just want you to let you know that yes, we do are conducting. I'm conducting several sessions for those who are interested to transition from functional to performance testing, for those who want to understand what is performance testing, and for those who want to move their career, change their career to performance testing, yes, please do join our training videos that's happening on the Saturdays and Sundays of this week. And yeah, for the next 3 months, yes, we're going to have several sessions, and we're going to have multiple hands-ons. We're going to have multiple discussions, and this one that you're seeing now in the screen is our first day training that happened last week. So going forward, we're going to have multiple sessions, and I welcome you all to our sessions. It's going to be it's going to be a free session, so you can just walk in. No registrations are required. You can join our WhatsApp channel where I share the link details, and you can connect through that link. And yeah, coming back to this video, so what we are going to discuss in this video. So the objective in this video that we're going to discuss is about the random variable. Yes, so in several situations we do have to implement the logic of random. So random is something like I just have a floor value and a ceiling value. So any value that comes in between, I must bring them. I must generate some random values, bring that and use it as part of my scripting, or I can use that as my logic. So recently I have come across this random variable, and let me show you how to use this random variable with few logics as well. You can very well use this, and you can also explore much more. And if you get a better idea, please do share that with me and our subscribers. And thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see how does it go. And starting with this one, so let me create a quick template. So it's going to be a recording template. I'm not just going to record anyways, I'm just going to show you the logic that we're going to use here. So yeah, here I have a thread group, I have a recording controller. Let me remove this one. So what I'll do is, let me add okay, we are in the thread group, so let me add a random variable. So before that, let me show you how to do the add a random variable. So go to the thread group, go to the add on the right click option, and then here you can see the config element, and out of it you can see this random variable. So in this is the random variable that we are going to use, and this is used to actually generate a random integer, not a string. So just remember, this is going to select the random integer between specified range for each iteration. So the value can be concatenated with the string, so you can add that as part of a string which is stored in a variable as a string. So you have a few inputs options as well, so I'll just show you, and I'll show you how to use this as well. So for now we have few input fields. So what is the variable name? So let me have the name as random rand short form, and output format where we can specify the format of the string. So in this example we can specify, for example, I can give this a number. So for now let me give it as a, I'll just leave it for now. Let me show you with some examples later. But then the minimum value. So when it comes to the minimum value, you can set up the minimum value from 1, and then the maximum value you can set up to 99,999, so 5 nines. And then we have another option where we can set where you can see the seed for random function. So what does this seed for random function is? So the default is the current time. So you can even generate the values, the seed for the function using time as well. So if you're giving some seed, then you can instruct JMeter to generate the random value in the same order in each test. So we'll see that as well, how to do that. And then next comes the per thread. So if it is false, then the generated value will be shared between all the threads in the thread group. So if you have like 100 threads, then this value will be shared across all the 100 users. But if you set it to true, then each thread will have its own value, that is the random value that is generated. So let's now choose, let me just choose a false, and then so I'm anyways generating the number. So to display that, what I'll do is, let me add a dummy sampler where I'm going to print it. So to print it, we all know dollar open braces rand, and now what I'll do is, let me say, okay, C drive, folder. Let me create a new folder, and that's going to be random variable. And here, random variable.js. Yep. So let me just, I've saved it, and let me just quickly run it. Run view results tree, response data. Yep. So we have got a number of 6, 4, 6, 9, 5. So that's a random variable. And now what I'll do is, let me just quickly introduce some logic. So let me go back to the random variable, and I will change this to 10. And then what I'll do is, let me add an if controller, right? So go to the third group, add a if controller, and then what I'll do is, let me add this, make a stop this dummy sampler inside this. So if I'm getting into this if controller, it will print the value what I wanted, what I was supposed to be the random value. So let me even create some 10 copies of it, right? So it's going to be Control Shift C, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's stick to 5. And now what I'll do is, let me just change this condition here into the condition, this part here, this one as well, and this one. Yeah, let me save it. And then what I will do is, let me remove this as well. This is not required at this condition for this logic. So to set the condition, what I'll do is, let me set up the condition, and for that I'm going to use a groovy function. So yes, as we all know, groovy function is very helpful for us to implement any custom code logic. So let me add the dollar open braces double underscore, and then groovy open, and then another bracket, rand close brackets equals 5, equals 1. So if the random value that is generated is 1, then I will print that value, that number here. And then 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? Save. And then what you're going to do is, so I have 5 different, 5 dummy samplers. I have set up 5 conditions. So let me just change this to 5. Let's close it to 5, save it, clear everything, and let me run this logic. So I have one user, so it will run for one iteration. And if I go to view results tree, so this time it has printed 2, because I'm in the the random value that is generated is 2. So that's why the condition is satisfied to 2, and then it has printed 2. So let me just run it again. So this time it is 4, and now it is 1. So this random variable actually creates several values, so like whatever the range that we're giving in, and like I told you, the maximum range is between like 99,999. So let's now try with other like what is this random function. So let the seed for random function, let's try that one. So far we saw the example with the minimum value and the maximum value we used, and then there is one option, that is the seed for random function. So we'll see what does this seed for random function, how does it work. So for example, if I'm giving like the number 1 as my seed for random function, and if I run this one, like say for example, let me run this like for 5 iterations. Let me clear everything, quick run. So not this one, so it's going to be a different one. Let me just make a quick change. So what I'll do is, let me go back and do a quick run with one user. So when I run it, I get the same number every time, right? So what I did is, I have set up the minimum value, the maximum value is set, and then under the seed for random function, I'm just giving just the number 1. So it can be any number. It cannot be 1. It can be any number that you want to that you wish to add. But then what happens is, like when you use the seed, this will allow the random number generator, that's a random number generator that we have here, to produce the same sequence same sequence of random value every time you run the test. So why it is useful? I mean, like you say, obviously we wanted to run, we wanted to create random variables, and that's why we are using random variable. But then why they are using this technique where if you give a number, then it will create the same number every time? So it's because if you want to debug or troubleshoot, because most of the times when we want to create a script, we normally have to start with debugging, right? So if you want to debug your script, or if you want to debug your API responses with a fixed set of input values without introducing new variables in every test run. So you do not want to introduce new variables. Instead, you can use the same variable, and then you can run this test. So you can do the debugging of your script or your API responses. And also by setting a seed, you can replicate the exact same behavior that is seen in the previous test execution. So these are the two things that you can you wanted to use the seed, and then the regression testing. So if your test rely on a random data, for example, like a timestamp or like a user ID, so by using a fixed seed, you can ensure that every regression test runs with the same data set. That this allows you to compare the results accurately over time. And then the next part is the controlling the variability. So for example, in the performance testing, we all know that we simulate requests with a random but consistent data. So this seed actually ensures that you use the same workload profile across multiple runs so that you can identify the trends or the regressions. And coming back to this random variable logic, like for example, the fixed seed, right? So for example, you have an API and it takes a random offset. For example, like for a booking system which handles reservations which are made at a random time in the past 24 hours. So with the seed, you can ensure that the offsets are consistent during the development or debugging, and where you can enable the where you can predict the API responses, right? So that's the main reason. And then for reproducing the performance analysis, so if your performance test uses random timestamps to simulate simulate user activity, by setting a seed, you can ensure that the same timestamps are used across test iterations and runs. And for any performance deviations also, you can because of any application changes, you don't need to change any data, so you can use the same set of data. So there are like several reasons you can use it. And then just to complete this one, so you can also use negative numbers as well. So let me just quickly run this. Let me remove this one, save, clear, run, view results tree. See, so you can even use negative numbers. You can, but the thing is, like, you can use the numbers. That's the point here. And yep, with that I come to the end of this video. I believe this video will be very useful to you. So please do implement this logic. You can use not only while controller, if controller, you can use while, you can use any other logics, any other controllers to implement this logic. So until I meet you in our next video, it's bye bye for us. And go to my favorite little star YouTube channel. Take care and bye bye. And also don't forget to join our session, the free sessions, which is happening on the Saturdays and Sundays. So with that, I come to an end of this video. Thank you, and talk to you in our next video. Bye bye. Take care.